this past week when we lost Frank on August 9th, your birthday, Hoda, at around 9 o'clock in the morning. And I want to thank everybody for your love and your texts and your tweets and just the outpouring has been extraordinary. That's a heck of a way to find out how loved you are. But believe me, my family and I got great strength and comfort from it. And the tributes to Frank, I think, were just extraordinary. But he would have loved them. He would have loved them. And we all know when you read the tributes about him, he's in 6 Halls of Fame, and he's a comeback player of the year, 8 Pro Bowls, the only person who ever played 3 different positions in the NFL, and started along with. Was one of the people, along with the Kennedys and the Shrivers, who started the Special Olympics series with codes at our home. And, the public Frank was always sort of out there for everyone to sort of witness the way he lived his life. But I thought I'd share something with you guys this morning about the private Frank. Because he used to say to me when I get sort of miffed at him, in every marriage you have that, and I'd say something to him. He goes, a lot of people like me. And I go, yeah, well, they don't live with you. And we laughed up to the very end. And I just want everybody to know that this is a man who was at complete peace in his life. He might have been the happiest, most contented person in the world at this point in his life. But I want you guys to know something about Frank, and that is when he was a young boy, born into a very different world than the world we live in today, the Depression. He was born in 1930 into a poverty-stricken home where his father was an oil worker. And the new poverty, the way so many people can't even, he ate dog food sometimes as a child, the family did, and was grateful to have it. He lived 29 different places before he was even at Bakersfield High School because his father couldn't get work during the Depression. And we know that from his mother's Bible, where she would say something like June 6th, 1938, arrived in Wink, Texas. Dad can't find work, moving on tomorrow. And that shaped the man that Frank became very, very much. He knew what it was like to be hungry. He knew what it was like to literally have no clothes on his back. Even when he went to USC to play football there, he had 1 pair of jeans and a white shirt. And so people who think that he was born with this silver spoon in his mouth, he goes, we didn't have spoons, But it made him so grateful. Honestly, he's the most grateful human being I've ever known, and that colored everything he did. And he would want you all to know that when he was a little boy, we know that where he lived and all that because of his mother's Bible, they had nothing, but they had their faith. And every time they moved to a new city, or they weren't cities, a new town, his mother and father would put him and his siblings, they'd go to church every week as a family. And that kept them together as a family through the darkest times. And as a young child, Frank asked Jesus into his heart. And that remained with him for the rest of his life. He strayed from his faith on occasion, but his faith never left him. And especially after we found each other and started sharing our faith together, it became more and more and more important to Frank. His world got smaller as his God got bigger. And I want you to know that he died in complete peace. He knew every sin he'd ever committed was forgiven. He had the hope that he would be with the Lord and that we would someday be with him as well. That is the foundation of the Christian faith is forgiveness, grace, and hope. And those of you who are hurting today or feel hopeless, it might be the answer for you. In fact, I know it's the answer for you. And one thing I do know about him is when we went to the Holy Land a couple of years ago, he came back a completely different person. We went to a place called the Brook of Elah in the Valley of Elah, where the shepherd boy David fought a different kind of giant named Goliath. And our friend Ray, who took us there, took us down to the Brook of Elah. And he said, all right, pick up a stone, because that's what David the shepherd boy did. He picked up 5 stones because he thought he might need more than one. He did that, the slingshot, and slew the giant. But as Ray pointed out to us, the miracle wasn't that the shepherd boy was able to kill the giant. The miracle was that the shepherd boy, who already had all the skills he would ever need in life, trusted in a living God, not a religion, but a living God. And Frank came back with a completely new perspective. And towards the end, after that trip, Hoda, you know, because you came with Joel, if somebody wanted to see his trophy room, they went into it, and he didn't take them to the bust at the end of this Hall of Fame. He didn't take them to see his Emmys or his rings or all of his trophies. He took them straight over to the stone that we brought back from the Brook of Ala. And we got home from the Holy Land, and Cassidy graduated from high school. I don't know what she was expecting, but she got a stone. And we said to her, Cass, where are you going to throw your stone for the kingdom of God? What is your stone, and where are you going to throw it? A week later, Cody graduated from college, USC, film school. He got a stone. And if you ever leave a legacy for your children, let it be that you've taught them friendship with God, and you've taught them to find their stone and show it, throw it hard and well, and transform this hurting world that needs God's love so much. And so my children have been extraordinary. They've been a blessing to me. You have been an amazing blessing, Hoda, my family here. All of you out there who've watched, we felt your prayers. We're so grateful. And Frank would want you to do this today. If you see a stone somewhere, pick it up and ask yourself that question. What is my stone? What is the gift that only I can do in this world to make it a better place? And then spend the rest of your life trying to throw it well. And then he would want you to stop a policeman and thank them for their service. He would want you to stop every fireman you see and thank them. Go into your local firehouse. He did it all the time. He would stop passing guards, stopping traffic to roll down the window and say, thank you for keeping the children safe. I mean, we drive kids in a drive us crazy. But he was so grateful. He knew what hard work was. He never had an entitled moment in his life. And we will miss him so much. We all keep expecting him to come around the corner. I keep expecting him to go, what time is church? He passed away instantly that morning, all dressed in what he knew was my favorite outfit, white shirt, very tight black jeans. He knew it looked good. Having his coffee, watching his TV, getting ready to go, ready for church, and excited about what we're going to have for lunch. I'm grateful that the Lord took him that way, because the only thing Frank has ever been afraid of his entire life was being a burden to those he loved. He never wanted to be hooked up to machines. He never wanted to lose his dignity. He'd seen so much of that through the years, and that's what I had prayed, that the Lord would take him the way he wanted to go. And so I thank the Lord for that, for his grace to us as a family. And I pray his grace on all of you as well. Thank you.
Oh, we love you, Kath. Love you.